Hello, everyone. As we welcome people into our Zoom room, it's great to see all of you. Let's give it 10 seconds as we begin to populate our room, although I see lots of wonderful waves. I am in the temple with our rabbinic intern, Ryan Lesner. Cantor Suffren is in the sanctuary. You can actually see her, along with Rabbi Sapphire, Rabbi Sherman. It's great to see all of you. So let's begin, as we do each week, with our heart tap. Since this is a visual medium, we invite you to go into gallery view if you're willing to be seen, because it's really good to see members of our community at this time. Hope you've enjoyed the summer weather. We're about to move towards our Summer Institute for the first time, a summer filled with learning and a presence on Zoom. Let's join together, welcoming Shabbat in song with Ryan, and then we'll light the candles with our cantor. So Shabbat Shalom, I said to Ryan in the middle, I forgot I can sing, because for the past 15 months, if I would sing the Nigun, it would silence his box. And this is the first time in a long time I am with Ryan and with a member of the clergy without a mask on. We are our own pod this evening. It is great to see all of you as we begin to kind of move into a new stage in making sure of our safety. It's great to see all of you. We're now going to join the cantor in the sanctuary as we welcome Shabbat with the lighting of our Sabbath candles.
Everyone, sanctuary, it is nice to be together as one community, no matter where we are this evening. So let's take a deep breath and separate the busyness, yes, excitement of this past week, and welcome this sacred time that is different than no other. And of course, we bring in Shabbat with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. So if you are at home, I'm going to invite you to draw those candles near to you and join us in lighting our Shabbat lights. And I am glad that one of our Bar Mitzvah students, Ben Friedman, is here with us to light our candles tonight. So go ahead, Ben.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav
Mazel tov to you, Ben, to your family. Shabbat shalom. You can take your seat. And the rest of us are going to continue page 142 with the words of Shalom Aleichem as we begin to warm up and greet Shabbat.
Well, and just before services, Joel made a comment that I will never miss an opportunity to have a waltz tempo. And it happens that this Shalom Aleichem is a waltz, but I actually love the idea that during the week, everything we do is a kind of 4/4 marching forward. And on Shabbat, we have that opportunity for a little lilt. So please join with me, Debbie Friedman's beautiful Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni, Baruchuni Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
The mystics, our sages, used to teach us to greet Shabbat by going outside and waiting for Shabbat to arrive, as if Shabbat would come over the horizon and meet us with this beautiful presence. So we turn to page 138 with anticipation, with eagerness, as we greet Shabbat with a beautiful welcome.
Shamor v'zachor b'diburecha Hishme'anu שם ותפארת ולי תהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם ניסוחה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי לי יאללה לי
We rise and turn to face the back of our sanctuary.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה יא לה לה יא לה 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 לך דודי יא לה 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 לקראת כלה יא לה 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 פני שבת לקבלה יא לה 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 לך דודי יא לה 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 לקראת כלה יא לה 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 פני שבת לקבלה
Let's be seated, our feet firmly planted on the floor, grounded, centered, as we continue with words of Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Let's join together for our Hashki Venu prayer that asks us to provide a shelter of peace for all of those who are in need of shelter. So let us join together with our cantor for Let There Be Love.
And I'd like to just say how wonderful it is to have Andy Langowitz back on flute and hear Victor on piano. be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Shalom.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Hashkivenu,
Adonai
Eloheinu,
Eloheinu,
L'Shalom, L'Shalom, Hashkivenu,
and understanding among us. Peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm.
Let there be love.
Let there be love and understanding among us.
Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We'll join together for the center of our prayer service, the Amidah. And we'll join on page 164 with words of Adonai Sevatai Tiftach. God, open up my lips so that I can declare your praise. In the sanctuary, we will rise. And on Zoom, please feel free to bring us some gratitude, anything that you are feeling this week that is on your heart. We invite you to share it at this time. Let's join together, 164.
Sifatai tiftach ufi akid dilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Yalalai, lai, lai, 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 yalalai, lai, lai.
Please take some time for your own personal meditation. And if you are standing when you are finished, you may be seated.
continue with Shalom Rav, our prayer for peace. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Once again, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
And so we continue on page 371 with prayers of Shlemut, moving from Na'oseh Shalom, a prayer for peace, to asking for prayers of healing, a refuah shlema. And so if you are thinking of a loved one in need of healing on this Shabbat, of mind, of body, of spirit, of soul, I invite you to rise if you are in our sanctuary, or if you are at home, to place the names of those who you're asking for these prayers of healing in our chat box. So let us join together.
Mi shebeirach avotenu mikor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Of course, we also give thanks for the sacred moments we've shared during this past week. And I'm going to scroll through our gallery view because first we want to acknowledge anyone who has celebrated a birthday during the past week. If you'll raise your, Amy, I see, happy birthday, Yom Huledet Sameach. I am told that Sydney Friedman is celebrating a birthday, so we wish you a happy birthday as well. Ed Gaskin, I see, and I am on Ryan's computer, which I can't figure out how to scroll through, so I apologize if I don't see you. But how about anniversaries? Anyone celebrate an anniversary? I know, oh, there we go, the Stern's great. And I know that Vic and Blanche Dietz are celebrating their 50th. Mazel tov to Vic and Blanche. And Joan and Arthur Priver, their 55th anniversary. Some mazel tov. I want to say mazel tov to Sophia and Ellie and Ben, who become b'mitzvah tomorrow. Mazel tov to you. What if you celebrated something new this week? Or you noticed a new flower, or you performed a new activity that is Shehechianu worthy? If you'll raise your hands. I saw, excellent, Hannah. I see Martha. I also want to acknowledge, I think I see Lauren and Joel there, and it looks like their background is not Jerusalem. So I guess you have returned home. Welcome home. It's great to see everyone for all of these things, for the sacred gift of life, for another year of love, for firsts, for returns, for being present. Let us give thanks to God with the words of Shehechianu as Cantor Sufrin leads us in the sanctuary.
Whether we have mentioned birthdays or anniversaries or moments of life celebration, and join together in these words of Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu Azman hazeh, big amen. Amen.
Thank you, Cantor.
Thank you, Rabbi.
So I just want to slip in a brief word of introduction before we continue with our speaker this evening. Pride is a feeling that can often overcome me when I am in this sacred place, or quite honestly, when I am in the midst of the TBE community, wherever we may be. It is a feeling of contentment, of security, of gratification and fulfillment. Yes, a feeling of shalom, that much is right with the world at this very moment. Pride is an extraordinary feeling, and our Hebrew scriptures uses this word, pride, dozens of times in our sacred text. Ga'ah, it reads, to be elevated, to be able to lift one's eyes, to have a proud heart, a proud spirit, to express pride of speech or of tongue, or to feel pride for another. Pride is a right for all people. I am proud that our movement, the Reform movement, and our temple strongly believe that each and every one of God's people deserve to feel a sense of pride. Each of us deserve to express our gender, our sexuality, our identity as we authentically and uniquely are. But we know that this is not the case everywhere, nor has it been historically so. Observing and celebrating Pride Month in June helps us to remember the events of June 1969, when homosexuality was against the law in many places. That June, the LGBTQ+ community, led by a few brave transgender women, rioted when the New York Police Department raided the Stonewall Inn, a historically open space for LGBTQ+ people. It was a turning point for the gay community, an opportunity for equal rights. We still have a long way to go until every person can securely feel proud of who they are, until everyone can show their colors of pride on the outside. Here at TBE, we have decided that we need to make sure that we are doing this work at home, here in our community. TBE has always been a welcoming community, but we must not only be welcoming, we must be advocates and allies. And I am grateful to an entire team of TBE lay leaders and youth for helping us to launch TBE's first LGBTQ+ initiative that we have named Kabbalat HaKol, which means a welcoming of all voices. And it is with deep, deep, deep pride in my heart that I invite our high school intern, Zach Gondelman, Kabbalat HaKol's founding leader, to share tonight's teaching in Devar Torah with us. So come on forward, make sure we can hear you.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. The word grapple is defined to engage in a close fight with, to wrestle without weapons, or to tussle with something. I've always had a love-hate relationship with this word, grapple, because for me, I spent a long time grappling with something inside me. Last Tuesday marked the beginning of Pride Month. And this evening, I am so honored to have the opportunity to share my coming out story and a word of Torah too. Whenever I share my story, I always begin with the word grapple. I think it's important to mention that this story is a common narrative among other LGBTQ+ friends and teachers of mine. I was very lucky from a young age, but I knew I was different and felt an otherness before I knew or could name that I was gay. In my middle school years, I vividly remember thinking to myself, oh, I figured it out. You know why I feel this way? I'm from Mars. That makes total sense. I'm not gay. Because the world I lived in told me it made more sense for me to quite literally be otherworldly than for me to be gay. And I grappled and puzzled and fought with and tried to come to terms with who I was and what that meant for me as a human in this world. I knew in my heart that I was gay, but frankly put, didn't like it. So I took that information and I put it in a box and I duct taped that box shut and I put that box in another box and duct taped that one shut and put the whole thing in the corner. And for those of you who know me best, you know that I like information to be neat and in corners. I hate to be the one to say this, but sadly, just because you ignore your problems or maybe put them in boxes and corners, that doesn't mean they go away. So for months and months, I fought internally with this piece of myself. On one fall day of October 2019, when I was finally feeling pretty okay with my identity, not great, but okay, I was planning on telling my family. This was around Halloween. But that day, I heard an adult who just happened to be on campus say to another, "Oh, being gay is so disgusting. I don't want my kid becoming a social justice warrior." And those words haunted me, because this thing I was finally okay with had been shot down before my very eyes. My worst fear heard out loud. So it took me back to square one. And for about 3 months, I kept grappling and asking myself questions like, am I really okay with this? And who am I? Around December, I vividly remember realizing that there were two pieces of my now semi-formed identity that I hadn't thought about together: my Judaism and my sexual orientation. I remember it was the evening of December 15th when I shot out of my bed with the realization that my religion might not be accepting of my sexuality. I remember a never-ending stream of questions running through my head like, are there gay Jews in the world? Can you even be gay and Jewish? I've never met a gay Jew, but I've also never seen all sorts of things. That doesn't mean they don't exist. So I scurried down the stairs and opened up my school-issued MacBook laptop and Googled, get ready for it, gay Jews, ? Now, I'm not sure in hindsight how I thought I would get any information Googling like that, but still I remember the first two articles that popped up. They were something like, Judaism hates all gay people, and an Encyclopedia Britannica article speaking to every major world religion and all LGBTQ+ people. Not very helpful either. So that was the evening of Monday, December 17th. So the next day, I texted one of the best allies to the LGBTQ+ community I know, our incredible senior educator, Devin Barker. And I said something like, I need to ask you something, can we meet? That Wednesday, December 19th of 2019, we met. And after about 37 minutes of interrogating Devin inside of a Starbucks about religion, LGBTQ+ folks, and Judaism, I came out to him. I had already been out to a bunch of people in my world, but Devin was one of the first adults I told. Looking back, I can comfortably say the fear of losing this community was one of the more painful parts of my coming out. And that's the power of visibility. When we don't show our love loudly and proudly, we LGBTQ+ folks have to assume that a place isn't welcoming. I was extremely weary when I talked to Devin and asked him at least 17 times, you're sure, right? And to Devin, my heart is so incredibly full of gratitude. And thank you could never adequately describe my feelings of gratitude. It was just about a week later when I came out to my immediate family, who are both here tonight and have been nothing but incredibly supportive from day one. With my family, I never had to think about things like, would my family still love me? I didn't believe that I would lose anything that would make me feel secure, like my housing or my safety. I don't take that for granted. I just had the challenge of looking inside and coming to terms with who I was. So I began to come out to people in my world. I think it's important to add here that I hope no one looks at where I am today, someone who's more than comfortable speaking to large groups of people about who I am and how I got there, and thinks I began this way. I didn't. I grappled for a long time and continue to define and find my place in our complex world. I'm of the belief that everyone is on what I like to call their own self-love and acceptance journey. We all have something to grapple with. Everyone is on the journey of learning who they are and learning to love and appreciate themselves for being that. I'm here this evening to share that wherever you are on that journey, you're wonderful and sacred, and you have a community here at TBE that will cherish you, that will hold you high, and that will wrap you in our great love. I was recently reminded of one of my favorite stories from the Torah that speaks to a sacred kind of grappling, the story of Jacob's wrestling with an Ish. He crosses a river where he stops and is now alone. Why did he stop? Well, Rashi says that he was looking for something that he thought he had left behind. He thought he was looking for one thing and instead experienced something completely different. That's what happens when we grapple. And then we read the words, Vayivater Yaakov levado, vayavavek ish imo ad alot hashachar. Jacob is alone, and he grapples or wrestles until the break of dawn. Jacob wrestles with an ish is the word. It's the word used for human being or divine being. So Jacob is wrestling with himself, a divine being, or both. I want to point out the word vayavek isn't just to wrestle, but to get dusty. Rabbi David Kimchi, a medieval rabbi known as Radak, says, Jacob wrestled with the Ish so intensely that a cloud of dust enveloped them while they were struggling. For Jacob and for many LGBTQ plus identifying folks, the work of grappling is often done in a messy, dust-enveloped kind of way, alone, just like Jacob. So as dawn is breaking, the Ish says to Jacob, "Let me go." But Jacob answers, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." So he receives and is blessed with the name Israel, one who has wrestled with God, but one who has prevailed. As a gay man reading this text, I felt a great similarity between my internal grappling and that of Jacob with his Ish. I think that everyone at some point in their life is forced to grapple with an Ish, to wrestle with the divine. And hopefully, just like Jacob, we will come out one who has wrestled and as one who has prevailed. And what does it mean to wrestle and grapple and to prevail? It means to come to terms with our authentic selves and to feel and know that we are sacred and divine. I love this community so much, and one of the hallmarks of our community is the way in which we support one another. Whether we're supporting one another on a Zoom or in person, with a holla or a hug, we're on this journey of life together. It's my hope on this Shabbat filled with pride that we don't let people grapple alone. We all must grapple, but let's support each other while we do, visibly, while we show our love out loud and with pride. I'm a firm believer that there are two ways to look at this work of sacred grappling. You can say to yourself, "Ugh, another thing to do." Or you can say to yourself, "I get to do this. I get to make the choice to do it in a holy way." That second one is so incredibly powerful. I get to do this holy work. I get to make this world better and maybe even save a life. So, I hope you'll join me in the incredible work of searching for ourselves and in the process breaking down stereotypes and destigmatizing LGBTQ plus people. I am so proud of our community for embracing this new initiative. And I want to add here that I'm not asking each and every one of us to do laps around the building, pride flag in hand with buckets of glitter, though if you would like to do that, please email me, zgondelman@tbewellesley.org. We can make that happen. I am, however, asking that each and every one here take a look inside and ask yourself this question. What am I comfortable doing to support the LGBTQ plus community this year? And when you have that answer, that one thing you're super comfortable doing, I hope you'll go one step further and do that to show your support. Step just a tiny bit outside of your comfort zone. Because the frank reality is, for me and many of my queer and LGBTQ plus friends and colleagues, that feeling of discomfort, it's an old friend. Mine was in the box I talked earlier about, and one we didn't particularly choose to have around. I have always felt TBE should be a microcosm of our world. On this Shabbat filled with pride, it's my personal prayer that each and every one of us look inside, just like Jacob, and grapple, and see how we can show our pride. This is our call to courage, our call to pride. Shabbat shalom, everyone, and happy, happy Pride.
Wow, Zach, like Rabbi Sapphire, I could not be more proud, and I hope you know. And I grappled with a song that would complement your sermon, wanting to bless you. And actually what I decided is on a prayer that asks us to be that safe place, that place of comfort and support. So as you lead us and you teach us, may this be the sacred place that you love. who come through these doors find comfort and wonder. Protect us, create us. Hamakum, 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 hamakum hazeh, hamakum,
Hamakom, hamakom, hamakom hazeh.
Bo'י ושלום, bo'י ושלום, bo'י, bo'י ושלום, bo'י ושלום, bo'י ושלום,
Hamakom hazeh, hamakom, hamakom hazeh, hamakom, hamakom, hamakom hazeh.
So I just want to say one more thing, which is that you lead us by example. You teach us, and you teach us in so many ways. This song, actually, Zach and Asher just recorded this past week, so you can find it on our social media as well. So thank you, Zach, for helping us to make this home more sacred. Thank you. So with that.
So I want to thank Zach as well, as we join together with a heart tap, and thank Cantor Suffren for a beautiful anthem. I'm sorry that at least it went out a little bit on my computer, but we're working on the technology and preparing for the year ahead, the Jewish year ahead. But I am deeply grateful for Zach and the Cantor for providing us that beautiful Torah. Let us now continue with the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Stephen, I'm going to ask you to place the words upon our screen, and ask those of you who are in mourning, observing a yahrzeit, the anniversary of a loved one, or have lost an immediate family member during the past 30 days, or a parent during the past year, to please raise your hand if you would, or to rise if you're able. And I am having trouble gaining entry to our list, so I apologize for not being able to read the names of your loved ones. But if we can use the chat room this evening so that you can type the names of those individuals you're remembering, and then together we'll say words of Mourner's Kaddish. Would you like to lead us, Ryan?
Sure. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei zechol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'mei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudasha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shalom Araba Min Shemai. L'chaim Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael v'imru Amen.
And if I can recite these names of individuals we think of at this time: Larry Bischoff, the stepfather of Wendy Falchuk; Stuart Cooper, the father of Joshua Cooper; Roberta Duker, the mother of Jay Duker; Alan Frommer, the husband of Judy; Myrna Hammerling, the mother of Jamie Byrne; Alfred Stein, the father of David Stein. And I've been asked to read the names of Carol Blumenthal, Frank Silverman, and Benjamin Slavitt. We think of all of them, along with all of those listed in our chat room this evening, as we join together in the words of Oseh Shalom.
Hu ya'aseh Shalom, ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael, ya'aseh Shalom, ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael.
So a lot of important announcements, but first I do want to acknowledge Jill Goldenberg's father recently passed. The funeral will take place in Minnesota, but Jill will be observing a Zoom Shiva this coming Thursday night. Jill's been a longtime member of our community, and so see your temple broadcast and you'll be able to find the link. There's a lot taking place in the community this week, not only Minyan and Torah study tomorrow morning, but we have our Summer Institute beginning this coming week. And so I just want to call your attention to a lot of incredible moments of Jewish learning on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday, beginning this coming Tuesday, but continuing through the entire summer. The history of the Jews in America with Rabbi Orkan, Parshat HaShavua, taught by our clergy, a course on the Israeli Reform Siddur, taught by an incredible array of teachers coming in from Israel. Prayer Ground with Ryan. Join Ryan. A lot of great learning. And then, of course, Friday nights throughout the summer. In the month of July, we will only be on Zoom, not in the sanctuary, as we kind of prepare our technology for the year ahead. I also want to call to mind next Friday, we'll be celebrating Juneteenth and the continuing March to Freedom with a program at 7:30 following services with our partakers, volunteers reporting on their mentoring, people who have been released from prison, re-entering society. And we have the executive director speaking during services. And it will be an incredible evening. So we hope you can mark your calendar for next Friday, Shabbat. I also want to make particular mention of the Red Cross Blood Drive at TVE this coming Thursday at 11 a.m. There are still spots, and there's no better way to celebrate our re-entry post-COVID than by thinking of those who need healing and certainly the gift of life and blood. Tuesday night is our congregational meeting at 7 p.m. And Thursday night, Women of Faith. We invite you to join a number of extraordinary women exploring their own faith, beginning at 7:30. I've been given that list. I hope I got all of our announcements in. So if you have a Kiddush cup, the last thing is the most important. I'm glad I just caught it on the back side. Is Zach gave an extraordinary sermon in celebration of Pride Month. We are having a Havdalah tomorrow night in celebration of Pride at 7 p.m. at TBE. I hope you can join us. If you have a Kiddush cup, I hope you'll raise it high in the air. If we see you holding a glass of wine or juice, Stephen, you have permission to place them on. Hey, there we go. Let's join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei Peri Hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereishit Yehu yom techila lemikraye kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidasha mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava u'ratzon hinachaltanu. Raise those glasses high. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim, you can take a sip. And now if you have a challah for motzi, I don't know if any of you baked challah with our incoming new assistant rabbi, Vanessa Harper, who just published a book on challah baking. And I'm sure she'll have more to share with our community as she begins her service at TV on July 1. But Rabbi Sapphire did bake a rainbow challah with Rabbi Harper this past Thursday. And so thanks to Rabbi Sapphire, I can't take credit for baking this challah, but I can take credit for eating it. And before eating it, let's say the blessing together. So, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon. I see some beautiful challahs. We'll take a bite. And now let's open up the microphones and wish each other Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shalom.
Bye, everybody.
Where's my girl? There she is.
Shalom and Shabbat Shalom. Shalom. Walter, I hope you're better. Shabbat Shalom.
Betty and Jerry.
Carolyn Becker.
Shabbat Shalom, Nancy and Howard.
Shabbat Shalom,
Marshall. We get to my white brother.
Sue, hi, Art.
Invite Janet
Shabbat Shalom.
Yardley.
Shabbat Shalom, Ed.
From
Happy
where?
birthday.
Actually, not bad. I've never seen them at Ring Brothers, so given it was
Shabbat
And the
Shalom, David.
Gerstenfeld. Vernon Gerstenfeld. I don't see her sister.
Hi, Nancy.
I'm sure she's here
Shabbat
someplace.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Oh, hello, Rabbi
Shalom.
Nicole.
Shalom,
Oh, so many
rabbis.
wonderful people. The Stellars,
Wonderful
Janet.
people.
Oh, where did you go,
Wonderful.
Janet?
Ellen, that dog is so cute.
Are you ready?
Rabbi Lazar. Shalom, Rabbi Lazar.
Marilyn.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Lazar.
Hi, Jim.
It is. Hold on, I'm getting it. Now this is.
Ellen, I'm pinning the dog so I can
Gary
see
and Eddie.
Janet. Hi, Janet.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, Janet.
It is on.
Hi.
It is on. This is it. This is not a Zoom. That was Temple Beth Elohim.